Hey guys, Joel here. We had some technical difficulties, so the audio came out bad on my end. We apologize for this, but please enjoy.
This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the movie Cats Don't Dance. Joel, you have cats.
Yes, I do have
I have
cats.
cats
You
too.
have cats.
Yeah. Do your cats dance?
No.
Neither do mine. All right, episode over. Play the
No.
Yeah, so what's up with animated movies always being musicals? We should probably research that one day and do an episode on it.
Maybe because it's easier for kids.
Maybe I do
kids-
find myself finding it easier to convey to Lincoln things through song. Like he used to not like it when I washed his hair. Yeah,
Okay.
he just didn't like. Maybe I was too rough. I don't know. But like when I started singing about washing your hair, he started singing it too, and now it's way easier. Same with brush your teeth, comb your hair. We even have a bathroom song. I'm like, I had never knew how good I was at making up songs about everyday life.
You're a champ at it.
to the tune of songs in the public domain until after having a kid, because I'm just like, put your
Andrew's, you're gonna be
shoes, time to wear your shoes. Let's wear our shoes today. And he's like, shoes.
you're gonna be the next Miss Rachel.
I wish. Actually, I don't think I have the drive to. I don't want to. Like, I would feel like, not to go completely off topic here, but I feel like I would do well as a child's entertainer until I got in front. Like, you'd have to do public appearances, and that's when it comes crumbling down, because I'm forgetful, I'm clumsy, and what's the first thing I say when I trip over my own feet? Fuck, and it's done. I've gotten a little bit. I mean, I get better around my son. So, when I'm around my son, I'm like fudge. Or one time we were coming out of the garage, he wanted to ride his bike, and I wear flip flops everywhere I go, and I stubbed my toe, and I just went fa la 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 la. My neighbor was walking her dog. She goes, "Oh, you're in a good mood." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I just stubbed my toe and I was trying not to scream the F word." She goes, "Oh, well, I hope you feel better." But
Good
yes,
job.
I mean, God almighty, it was one of those stub toes where you're like, there's only one way to react.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to talk about Cats Don't
in.
Dance. How do you feel about the songs that Cats Don't Dance? One of them made me kind of uncomfortable.
So,
You already
let
know
me
one, don't you?
yeah. Let me. Some of the songs are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of the songs are, but I think this whole movie, everything about it, from the animation and particularly that one song,
Yeah.
all of those, like, it's just, I don't know, unsettling. Is that the best way to describe it?
No, I like the movie itself. I think I can't tell. Okay. We'll discuss this after we talk about the history, because, there's no theme song to review. We kind of just reviewed the soundtrack. It's okay. And there's one song that's like odd. But okay. I feel like there's an unintentional subtext with the animals in Hollywood. Or maybe it's because I'm viewing this movie as like a man in 2025. Like, and I'll
explain.
Okay,
You'll explain.
yeah, because there's a few notes I have about this movie.
Okay.
But first of all, Joel, how did this movie get made? There's
Alright,
a weird
Andrew.
history with this movie from start to fucking finish.
Yes. So, production began in 1993. Right off the bat, it's starting out weird because this was a vehicle for Michael Jackson to become more behind the cameras in movies. He
Right.
wanted to be more producer. And he was supposed to be producer, star of the show, a consultant in the music and choreography of this film.
That's
Because-
wild.
Because they was going to do the whole, mocap.
Yeah, it's going to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Space Jam.
Bingo, yes. But Andrew, in 1994, Michael Jackson stepped away from the film.
Is it because, is that around the time of his allegations?
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. I didn't really look that part up because I was like,
looked it
well,
up.
yeah.
I looked it up to make sure, but yes. Dude,
Damn.
I found articles from Newsweekly, not Newsweekly, Entertainment, back in 93, where they was hyping this movie up with Michael Jackson being a part of a child.
Oh, a children's
cartoon.
entertainment joint. Oh, shit.
I know Michael Jackson. He had a very early influence on this movie,
Right.
but it makes all the sense in the world that he was behind this. He was going to be involved in this movie after you watch it, in
Well,
my opinion.
I feel like after I don't know. I feel like they changed it so much.
No, they
Or
I'm
maybe
just-
are you saying
well-
that they just changed it to just be a regular animated movie? And
I
you don't think the
just-
script has changed any?
No, I think the script has. I'm just saying, the way that they animated that little girl and stuff like that in this movie,
Okay.
it is very unsettling.
It is. That's true.
And the only thing every time she popped on screen, in the back of my mind, I was just like, I bet this was Michael Jackson. This was his design, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
But-
Just because I don't think they would have made the little girl CGI. She would have been a live action. Well, she probably would have
True.
been Michael Jackson's character. Maybe he was the villain that didn't want.
He was gonna play-
gonna dance in my music videos. Some shit like that. Jamona, get them felines out of here, Tito.
Oh, actually, that would be a better movie, honestly.
That would be Michael Jackson and
Just hates.
the other Jacksons having a feud with anthropomorphic CGI cats. Unfortunately, at this juncture, we would have to CGI everybody.
Yes.
It's
Well-
like, did you guys make a movie with a CGI Michael Jackson? Well, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Dig him the fuck up?
I mean, all the people are CGI in this movie.
Yeah.
So
No one's alive.
no one's alive. Well, he stepped away, and at this point, they had to, bring in somebody new. For the music, they brought in, at one point, they brought in David Shire, Richard Matby Jr. to compose songs, but this was before Randy Newman.
None of these songs sound like they were written by Randy Newman.
No,
No.
I
A single fucking one.
I constantly have to remind myself that Randy Newman did Short People, because that song is fantastic. But
I
yes,
thought it's do you remember that song that Randy Newman made where he wanted to drop a nuclear bomb on every single country but the United States of America?
no,
Yeah, that's
I love it.
it's like back in the day, you're like, haha, he's just being ironic. But now in today's, you're like, do not let Donald Trump learn that this song is real.
Do not give Randy Newman the power.
Do not give. We have to stop this at all costs. It's like the Ark of the Covenant, this song where Randy Newman thinks about nuking. The only reason I remember it is because the reason he wanted to nuclear bomb South America is because they stole our name. I'm just like, that seems like a very
Just
petty reason.
The most pettiest of reasons.
Yeah. They stole my name. That's wild. It's just like I mean, it still goes on. There's Hanna-Barbera is involved in this.
Well, I was about to say from there, they turned to Hanna-Barbera to help with the writing department, and they decided that they wanted to, for some reason, base cat characters off of the films of old, like Casablanca, East of Eden, The Music Man. They said that the reason for the cats was because of the cats that would be behind those lots during the filming of those movies. Because I guess old Hollywood stories would just talk about how when these movies was being filmed, when everybody took a break, they would just go out back and there would be a hood of cats out there and they would feed the cats, I guess. I don't know. But they decided to run with this. They brought on Mark Dender to direct the project, which his connection was with the Turner Animation president, David Krishna, because they had just finished up with working on The Rocketeer, Andrew, together.
Hey, that's cool.
The Rocketeer is a great movie.
The Rocketeer is a great movie. And that same guy who directed The Rocketeer did Captain America, the First Avenger. And you know what? That's one of the more solid Phase 1 Marvel films.
Oh, yeah. So, at this point, I mean, we've got the writers, we've got, the composer, but we're still missing out on the choreograph.
Okay.
Of the movie.
Yeah, because you got to dance.
Dance.
So who's choreographing?
Gene Kelly.
Okay, I'm not familiar. Who's Gene Kelly?
Gene Kelly is like the old school tap dancer.
Okay.
So he was in For Me and My Gal. I'm looking this up. The Pirate, Summer Stock, Black Hand, Inherit the Wind. But he was the tap dancer guy.
Okay, he's just, if you need a tap dancer, that's your guy. Hollywood is such an odd place.
Well, okay, Singing in the Rain.
Okay. Yeah.
So Singing in the Rain, that's him. I'm trying to think, I'm looking through all of this, but he is just one of those Hollywood names that you always hear about. But you're like...
Yeah, you always hear about Gene Kelly, the tap dancer.
I heard about Gene Kelly. I don't know about you. My mom would watch a lot of Gene Kelly.
That checked out. That checked out hard.
It makes... My mom, who did clogging classes when she was 45.
Can your mom do the Singing in the Rain tap dance? Do we know?
I don't know. She was more into that, mountain foot clogging kind of thing.
Ah, okay.
That
makes sense too.
Just all of the boxes checked out.
Yep.
So they brought Gene Kelly in as the dance consultant. They brought in Brian McEntee as the art director. He worked on the ballroom scene in Beauty and the Beast.
Hey, that's actually a technological marvel at the time of making it, because it's the first, the first 2D to CGI animation thing ever made.
Yeah, like, that was historic.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yeah, it was historic when that came out.
Yeah. I have my favorite thing, which is
What?
always management.
Well, I was just about to say, you know what, Andrew?
During the production, management at Turner Feature Animation changed repeatedly, and every time they changed, somebody kept wanting to add their input with drastic revisions, including updating the setting to a 1950s rock and roll era. And it's just like, Dindal said it's pretty hard to try and keep what you have finished so far and then suddenly transition into a different period of time, or introduce a different character, or have a completely different ending that doesn't seem to fit the beginning you have. Yep. Also, this is a good segue to get to the voice cast, because we're not going to talk about this guy.
No, but hang on. I just want to say, after all of that, all the management changes, all the rewrites, all of that, it finally released on March 26, 1997, and bombed at the box office.
Yeah, budget of $32 million and made $3.5 million back.
Yeah,
it's probably because management they went too many revisions.
But before you get into the voice cast, I actually read somewhere it was because the marketing for this movie did not exist. It was such a poorly marketed movie, to the point where no one even knew it was coming out.
That makes sense, because Dindal's portrayal of Max, I know the little girl's name, but it's Darla Dimple, that's it.
Oh,
her I can't say that word. Her giant butler. It was originally scratch track. They were going to get somebody to come in, but they ran out of money, so they're just like, no, we gotta keep it. So they probably just didn't have any money for marketing, because, I know that animation is expensive, but $32 million for this movie sounds like a lot, especially for, this probably started in 1995, making it to 1997.
Like, you're talking about the actual, animation started?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. Probably about 2 years to get everybody together.
Yeah, and then also they probably, I don't know if that's incorporated, but from the start of getting Michael Jackson involved and then losing him was probably not great for the studio, because if he's directing, starring, and producing, he probably put a lot of his money up front, and then they lost it all. So it's kind of like when the Swamp Thing series was being filmed in North Carolina for a tax cut. And then North Carolina decided to not give it to them, and that's why we only have one season of Swamp Thing.
Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks.
Basically that's the only reason. All right.
All right. So what about the rest of these voice actors?
They were all famous people, Joel.
Ooh. That makes sense.
Scott Bakula as Danny. Jasmine Guy as Sawyer, Natalie Cole as Sawyer again, Ashley Peldon as Darla Dimple. I think I said something else. Oh, and Lindsay Ridgway as Darla Dimple's singing voice.
Okay.
Kathy Najimy as Taylee Hippo. John Rhys Davis as Woolly Mammoth and George Kennedy as L.B. Mammoth.
LB.
Is there a movie or a show where Scott Bakula plays Dracula? I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
It would be the best, wouldn't it?
For their other works, we have Scott Bakula as Dr. Sam Beckett in Quantum Leap.
Oh, I love that movie.
Jasmine Guy is Dominic LaRue in Harlem Nights. Natalie Cole is... She worked on the soundtrack on a lot of things, such as Taxi, Pretty Woman, Scrooge, and Shazam. Ashley Peldon is young Elizabeth in Drop Dead Fred. Lindsay Ridgway was Claire Landers in Daddy's Girl. Kathy Najimy is Peggy Hill in King of the Hill.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to that reboot. Ron Rhys Davis is Gimli in Lord of the Rings. And finally, George Kennedy is Joe Patroni in Airport. There you go. All right, so first things first. This movie is at breakneck speeds.
Yes.
It is. I don't really it's only 74 minutes long, and that's including intro and credits. That's insane. For how, like, it is. I feel like you don't have enough time to let anything settle. Because it's like there's build-up conflict. All the characters give up on Danny and then immediately join back because it's like there's not enough time for Danny to really have like a
real building,
a crisis of faith that it's like, maybe I can't make it in Hollywood, because the plot of it is Danny is an orange tabby. He has dreams of going to Hollywood. I felt like there was more to Danny leaving originally, because it's like the beginning of the movie, he's getting on the bus. He's got all these childhood friends. We don't fucking know any of them.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's gone. Like he's on his way to Hollywood.
It was no big deal him moving.
It was supposed to be an emotional goodbye, but it's like
didn't feel it.
We never had this, like, I don't know, Danny's working at the diner and he dreams some more, and maybe his friends are like, hey, you know, they sing a song about like, you should go to Hollywood and be a star. But there's not that. They're saying, I feel like there's just like, I just feel like they cut so much out, and it starts off like he's going.
Yeah.
like damn.
They could have done like, hey, just give us 10. Well, at the rate this movie went in, I don't know if they could have done it. Maybe, I don't know. But 10 minutes of like a little backstory. See him as a kid.
A good 30 extra minutes tacked onto this movie. Just several different scenes makes this movie just a little bit better. So, you know, Danny goes to Hollywood. He goes to this agent who specifically works with animals. That's all it is.
But what's the roles typically, Andrew?
Yeah, the roles are just all like, be an animal, you know.
In a movie. We need a fish.
We need a fish. We need a goat. Okay. This is where Danny kind of learns that it's like, if you're an animal in Hollywood, you're typecast in a role. And maybe this is kind of like my left-leaning way of thinking.
Okay.
But the way I viewed this movie is like a metaphor for various people of color not being able to get like legitimate roles that are outside of their wheelhouse of just like, okay, you're a black guy, you're gonna be a gangster or a drug dealer, you're an Indian guy, so you get to work IT, you're
okay,
you know, stuff like that. And maybe I was just reading too much into it. Maybe that's not what they wanted to do, but I kind of felt like that was, I don't know, it just felt like that was a message you could have, because it's just like, because, you know, okay, and this is another thing. You got a little blonde white girl telling them, you know, you're not anything but a cat. And the cat says meow, and it gets the fuck off stage, and it knows its place. And you're like, in the lens of how I'm viewing it, I'm like, you can give Hollywood some credit. They're getting better at it, but like, back in the day, they're just like, no, we know what you're gonna play, kind of deal. I don't know. Maybe I read way too hard into it.
I mean, maybe you did. I think I took it just at face value.
Yeah, I feel like you watched it how you were supposed to.
Like, it's just it's that common tale of, well, it's like whenever the new thing comes into Hollywood, and that's like what the fans want, or that's all the money. That's where the money's at. The old kind of real talented people that had some skills or whatever, they'll slowly get pushed out because, hey, we got this bimbo here.
Yeah, you saw it as like all these people from, all the animals can't catch a break because Darla Dimple is the moneymaker. She's she's the new it. She's in vogue.
Honestly, that's basically what happened when Shirley Temple came on, right?
She's definitely like a Shirley Temple. She's an evil Shirley Temple. So,
Well, that's kind of what I kind of saw it as, like, okay, this is just the story of Shirley Temple and these child actors, just coming on the scene.
Yeah.
And they really don't need some of these other adult actors. Like, it's AI took our jobs kind of thing.
I could see that.
And it's just, they finally, just showed that, hey, we can be relevant too.
Yeah, we can
be. That's what I took it as. I didn't read more into it.
Here's the part. Okay, we're gonna get to. So they all get cast. Everybody at this agency gets cast because Darla Dimple is making a Noah's Ark movie.
Because she's tricking our homeboy here.
Yeah. So basically it's like they're all going to get paid, but and she's the star of the show, so they go to filming and they're like, "Oh, I'm so excited to work with Darla Dimple. She's so sweet and humble, and she's she really cares." And they start singing the song, and then Danley slowly is realizing as the movie's being made, all Darla's doing is going to the animal and being like, "The goat says bye, and the duck says quack," and then it gets to the cat, and he starts to, church it up a bit and start singing, and then Darla gets frustrated, and she calls in her boy Max, who's an 8-foot tall monster man.
Yeah, like, I actually thought he was just like a gorilla. I was just like, so he's just like one of the animals.
He's just this giant man, and he grabs Max, and he just goes, "How does the kitty go?" And so that's one of the reasons you learn how Darla's been able to keep control of her stardom, is that she's got this murderous monster. Because his hands are like 5 feet tall. He may be a 20-foot tall man. It's pretty crazy. And so that's Danny's a little down on his luck, and that's when some of the older actors, mainly a fish and a goat, there's like, this is how it's always been for us.
Yeah.
It's like we come in where I eat some grass, she swims in the lake. There's not room for animals to act any different than being an animal.
Yeah.
And so Danny does not get the hint. He also has a love interest who plays zero part of anything. I feel like she had a bigger part if this movie wasn't 74 minutes long, but she's just like...
She had to, because it you're right, she is no character in a sense.
She's nothing. She's just like, I love you. She's basically there to go, I love you now, at the end of the movie. Because she even has a song about, like, I got to do it for him. And, like, you guys have had no meaningful moments other than Danny is just insanely optimistic about Hollywood and how it treats animals.
Yeah, it's like, did he just like win you over with his charisma? And now
You guys
just
barely talked.
I know, it's like you know nothing about one another.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they're cats. Well, I don't know. So basically, this is where Darla Dimple sings this really uncomfortable song to Danny, and she knows LB Mammoth, and they're going to try to put on a show for him, and they sabotage. Darla sabotages the shit out of it, and this is when the other animals are like, "We should just give up," and then Danny's sad for like 10 minutes, maybe less. And he's just like, let's try it again at the premiere of this movie. And so he gives it a shot. Max, Giant Butler, gets word of it. And he goes to, he legitimately almost destroys this theater trying to kill this cat.
Yeah.
And he gets killed, I guess, because he tries to kill Danny on this giant Darla Dimple balloon. And
I'm gonna assume he died unless it's cartoon.
I don't know.
He's
He's as big as Kaido from One Piece. He probably survived that fall.
Probably.
So he gets the balloon pops, but Danny gets his revenge. He's like, how does the kitty go? And he's like, meow, and it pops. He's gone. And the movie ends, and Danny is just like, oh, we have a special treat. All the animals from the show actually want to put on a performance for you. And it was all orchestrated by Darla Dimple. And because she has to save face, she's just going to be like,
yes.
Where's Max? I need him to murder this cat in front of everybody. And so they do a performance, and Darla gets real, real mad at Danny, and she admits that she floods the
studio. Basically.
Floods the studio, and they all win. And then you learn that the animals. And then this was another thing. It was like the sabotaging of the studio was another thing that it made me think of, like, People of Color. It's like, like, she's like, I'll give you guys a shot. And she knew purposely that they were going to judge them because of them being animals.
Yeah.
And B, she sabotaged it anyway. So it's like she knew that they weren't ever going to take them seriously in a serious role. So it's like, that was another thing. I was just like, I don't know. It just seems like it just was like old Hollywood, like, really fighting the change that Hollywood kind of needed to survive.
Fuck, man, New Hollywood still does this shit.
Yeah, they do. They do it all the time. And
that the level of nepotism in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Dude, all your favorite actors are related to all your other favorite actors. You're just like, fuck.
And most of these people, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I feel like most everybody can't act anymore.
It's tough.
In a sense.
I mean, everybody's in front of a green screen. They're finally figuring out that people can't act in front of a green screen. And
I'm so surprised.
And it's getting a little dicey because also people are. You got to give them a little credit. It did take them pretty quickly to realize that AI can't write a script by itself, because there have been a few movies where you're like, AI wrote this. Like, what was that one Disney film, Wish? Almost.
Oh, yeah.
Either people theorize that's either the worst Disney film that they've ever made, or ever wrote, or an AI wrote it.
Wish.
Wish. Like, because if you watch it, you're like, this is nonsense.
Yeah.
Which,
I didn't like that movie too much. I think maybe that explains it. I remember watching it and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just a bunch of references. So, okay. So the animals, they get a win. And LB Mammoth, the short, cigar chomping producers like, I'm going to put you in a bunch of movies, which is just Warner Brothers remakes, but with the animals, which they probably saved bukus of cash on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they used the turtle character and his friends. I'm like, why did they do that from so that means in this universe with anthropomorphic acting animals, they chose to hire the Jim Henson Company to make those turtle suits rather than hire a bunch of turtles. That's like blackface, isn't it?
No, I like to think that if
turtle face?
That these turtles, they were just turtles that got really jacked and roided up because they was just like, we want to be action stars. And that's
possibly. And it's just a bunch of, I think there was like Casablanca, and it was a lot of modern for the 90s Warner Brothers movies. And that about is this the movie.
That is
you can watch it on free. You watch it on free. That's the newest streaming service. You can watch it on free. What is it about? It's just free. You don't pay anything. But you can watch on YouTube free with ads, or you can go to Internet Archive. Both easy enough to find. But, Joel, it is time for your reoccurring segment, Reviews That Don't Dance and Reviews That Bust a Move.
Ooh, bust a move.
I saw a comment on our Spotify page that was like, how can it be a new reoccurring segment if it's been going on for the past 3 years? And to answer that question, it's because I keep renaming it, and I'll never stop renaming it till the day I die. Or we finally get enough copyright infringements to where we just have to stop.
No, we won't stop. We'll still do it.
We'll just have our wages garnished forever.
Forever. Just for you, just so Andrew can continue his new reoccurring segment.
No, I just meant our show just gets copyright stricken to oblivion.
If that happens, we'll keep going just for your new reoccurring.
Okay, that's fine.
Reoccurring segment. All right. And so this is sitting at a 6.9 out of 10 out of 9,000 ratings. Big increase from what last week it was, like 10 or something?
Yeah. I think there was like 50.
So this movie actually does not have a 1-star review.
I feel like it was remembered pretty fondly. Honestly, my only criticism is Darla Dimple's got a really creepy song, and it's just too fast.
Honestly, I don't like Darla Dimple, like her character at all. I think they could have.
I think that's the point. Unless you're talking about her character design.
I don't like her character design. They could have went a different way with it. But Andrew, this is the 10 out of 10 titled A Great Movie. I saw this a couple of years ago and I loved it. It was a touching film. It's about a cat named Danny who goes to Hollywood to become a performer. And despite some mishaps and discouragement, he eventually does. This film will move you. If it doesn't, then you're a block of stone. Call me granite. Because this movie...
I was not moved. Maybe if, like I said, with that extra 30 minutes to give this movie like a little bit more room to breathe, sure.
I think it could have been something really good.
Yeah.
But I just... Not saying that it's like really bad. I think it's good, but it's just not the best. I don't even think I would tell someone to go watch it.
It's just very average.
Yeah. And honestly,
but I don't think I do not think that if you were blinded by nostalgia, that going back to watch it would ruin the movie. I do not think that.
No. If you watched it as a kid,
you would be surprised about how fast it is, but
Yeah.
that is about it.
it is a very quick movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want to recommend it just for that. It's less than an hour if you include the credits.
Yeah, true.
Because it's 74 minutes, but if you include like the credits and like the intro part, I would say it's probably around 60. Like easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very fast-paced, short movie.
Yeah.
I do wish hour and 30 minutes. I know that's kind of long for an animated like kids cartoon,
Especially back in the day.
but you probably could have
This was
flushed
in
out.
theaters too, so it's like
Not for long.
I guess not for long. No.
No.
But Joel, I believe that wraps up Cats Don't Dance, which it turns out they do dance.
They do. They
If
tap
you would
dance.
like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have the $5 tier that gets you access to our Discord, which gives you access to the mega request thread, stickers and pins mailed right to your door, access to bonus episodes and episodes with extended audio. If you would like to visit our website for a regular request, you can go to cartoondumpsterdive.com. Perhaps visit our store. It seems as though Teespring has really gotten it together, and your orders will not take as long as they have, and we apologize for the inconvenience.
Come on.
Mine got here pretty fast.
That's good.
We are Cartoon DD on both Twitter and Blue Sky, and Cartoon Dumpster Dive everywhere else. And also, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we just started, which you will get our regular episodes in. But also, we might try to make a video. I don't fucking know yet. I just know that we're listed on YouTube and YouTube Music now. You won't see us. You'll just see the big old Dumpster TV logo. But hey, that's what you're used to anyway. So, give it a go.
Give it a go.
Make us some YouTube money. We'll put it back in the show, I swear. We've never made enough to make a profit anyway. But if you do go there, give it a like and subscribe. And if you don't feel like that, give us a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice so we can dance right into the podcasting Hall of Fame. Have a great rest of your week.
See you.
This has been a Lughole podcast.